Now the latest on the Sean Diddy Combs trial. Opening statements are now underway after a jury was selected. Diddy is facing sex trafficking and racketeering charges. Fox 5's Michelle Ross is live outside of the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan. Michelle?
Hi there, Guy. A jury has now been seated consisting of 8 men and 4 women, and they are currently hearing opening statements from the defense side. The prosecution already wrapped, and in it they told jurors that what they can expect over the course of this trial is to hear of 20 years of alleged crimes committed by Sean Diddy Combs and about his inner circle who allegedly enabled him. Arriving at the courthouse this morning were his children, his 3 sons and his twin daughters. They left a black van holding hands. Now, depending how far along opening statements and witness testimony get today, they will hear in detail the graphic allegations their father is accused of. The prosecution mentioned kidnapping, arson, drugs, and sex crimes. They also mentioned that Diddy forced ex-girlfriend and R&B singer Cassie Ventura to have sex with male escorts while he watched and filmed and kept the recordings as blackmail. He's also accused of forcing other women to participate in occasions referred to as freak-offs, days-long drug-fueled sex orgies that lasted days. Diddy has denied all allegations, and his publicist spoke outside the courthouse this morning.
He's ready to go. He's ready to launch his defense. This has been, 8 months waiting for this, so I think everyone's just ready to get this done.
Now, the defense has said that they will admit to domestic violence on Diddy's part, but that they will also argue that there was mutual violence on both sides. And if they get to witness testimony this afternoon, the first 2 the prosecution said will be relatively quick, but that the 3rd witness could last all week, and that is believed to be Cassie. We're live outside the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan. Michelle Ross, Fox 5 DC.
And joining us now to discuss this further happens to be Jess Ledingham. She is a federal litigator and back here on the Live Zone. So, Jess, it's getting real, as they say. Today's the day. Opening statements now underway with regard to the Sean Diddy Combs case. For folks that are still trying to wrap their mind around this and grasp how this works, what exactly does the opening statements mean? What happens with that?
Opening statements, first the prosecution will go, and then the defense, and then the prosecution kind of ends it up. So as they always say, the first person and the last person in an argument usually wins. As Michelle just told us, the prosecution has been very clear of, here's the evidence. Here's the evidence we're going to show you, and it's going to allow you to convict him. Meanwhile, the defense is really trying to say, this is a guy with a lot of problems. Domestic violence is bad. We don't believe in domestic violence, but this is an issue about him engaging in domestic violence, not this racketeering scheme that the government has been alleging that he's been committing for the past 20 years.
Yeah, Jess, we also know that the jury is now made up of 8 men and 4 women. Is that a good thing for the defense?
It is a good thing for the defense, including some of the people is a massage therapist and a grocery store clerk, which the grocery store clerk, that's a good thing for the defense because you want people that come from a rough background, come from, low means like Diddy, because then they see Diddy as more of a hero than people that used to work at JP Morgan. That one might not be good for the defense. But a huge reason, Guy, that there are more men than women on the jury is because a lot of women had to say that they either experienced or knew someone that experienced sexual abuse or domestic violence. So a lot of them were too biased to serve on the jury.
Wow. Well, with regard to the defense, we know that they will try to, in essence, poke holes in the prosecution's case. We also know that with regard to Cassie and Diddy, and correct me if I'm wrong, but according to insiders, they were both violent with one another. Is that correct?
That is what they have been alleging. That's what the defendant has been alleging. And that's what the defense is going to show. They're going to show that this wasn't him, beating her up and forcing the sex, that this was a very toxic relationship. And I think a lot of people have either been in a toxic relationship or have seen a toxic relationship very close to them. So they understand that both sides just keep heating it up. And that's what the defense is going to be relying upon.
All right, so the wild card here, or what I would deem the wild card, happens to be that Cassie is pregnant. And with that being said, I would expect perhaps the defense, in essence, the cross-examination rather, would be somewhat different from the way you would perhaps treat someone that is not pregnant. Is that correct?
Yes and no. Cassie is a sexual abuse victim, alleged sexual abuse victim. And due to that, Tenny is most likely going to be the one that crosses her, unless it's the other woman that has been newly appointed to his team. But until this weekend, he only had one woman on his team. She's going to take her time, and she has to be soft and slow with her, because you don't want it to look like the defense team is too much bullying anyways. Because she's pregnant, obviously she looks a little bit more sympathetic, but people know that this happened 6 years ago. So I do think that they'll be able to separate that. The bigger issue is treating her kind, but not too kind, because she is an alleged sex abuse victim.
Yeah, and with that being said, I would expect the defense lawyers to, in essence, point out inconsistencies and/or exaggerations on her part.
Absolutely, Guy. And I'm sure we'll see some video evidence or text evidence of a mutual destructive behavior, that they were both very just violent towards each other. And it'll be up to the defense to realize, has Diddy been using his bodyguards and everyone around him to just keep only being abusive and allow this racketeering charge to go forward? Or if they say, no, this is just a really messed up boyfriend-girlfriend situation.
All right, Jess, and with regard to body language, what exactly do you expect Diddy to be doing, and or how should he appear while Cassie is on the stand?
I'm sure you've heard that your co-anchor that you just had on, Michelle, of Fox 5 New York, that he even, mouthed to her, "Are you okay?" because she's 7 months pregnant. Diddy has been really attentive, been taking notes, hugs his attorneys every day, has been dressing nicely, but not too nicely. He knows that there will be a pair of eyeballs on him from the jury at all times. Diddy is a very charismatic individual. He knows how to act. He knows how to perform for people. So he is going to be attentive, look bad for the things that he has done, but not too bad. He is going to be acting this whole time, and I have a feeling he's going to do a really incredible job.
Yeah, all of which playing out right before our very own eyes. Yet again, we have been speaking with Jess Ledingham, federal litigator, joining us right here on the Live Zone. Always good to chat with you, Jess. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Always a pleasure, Guy.
All right, guys. Hey, on the flip side of this break, guess what? Howard University's softball team headed to the College World Series. We're going to speak with the coach next, right here on the Live Zone.